This lecture we are going to learn how a person can tweet his thoughts on this platform. Okay, so let's begin with creating the first profile on this first device. So the profile has got successfully created and the photograph is getting reflected over here. Fine. Now, if suppose this person wants to, tweet his thoughts, he needs to tap on this button and automatically he's going to get redirected on this screen. Now, let's start writing a message here. So this is the first tweet and let's hit this tweet button over here. Okay, so this is a screen where we have got a GIF image placed. Now let's tap on this screen and see what's gonna happen. Okay, so we are able to see the tweet on this screen. Fine, we are able to see this first tweet. Now let's tap on this button over here and see what are we going to get. Okay, so this is the profile screen of this uh, person, and his first tweet is getting reflected over here. Now let's go back and tweet again. So here we are going to write down the second tweet. So now it's tweet 2, okay, it's message 2 which the user is going to post. Now let's hit this tweet button and see what's gonna happen. Okay, so now this screen is reflecting tweet 2. Here, what is a tweet? Okay, this is a second tweet which is getting reflected over here. Now let's come back on this main screen and let's tweet again. So this is the third tweet. This is a third message which the user is going to post. Now let's hit this tweet button and here is the third tweet, and when you will click on this button over here, you are going to come across this screen, and here the user is going to see his third tweet. Now if you want to check out his first second tweet, previous tweets, so he can make use of this next and previous buttons over here. So when he click on this, automatically he can see all the tweets that he has posted on this channel. So right now it is tweet 2 which is getting reflected over here, and this is tweet 1. Fine. So that's how I have coded these two buttons so that the user can see his previous tweets too. So when the user will come on this screen, if you want to check out his recent tweet, what he can do, he can click on this button over here and sorry, you need to click on this, and when he will click on this photograph, he's going to get redirected on this page where he can see his tweets. Okay, and using these next and previous buttons, he can navigate between all the posts that he has published on this platform. So this is the first profile which we have created with this name Gaurav, and this is the email address, and we have published 3 different posts using this ID. Now let's come on the second device and create another ID on this. Image is getting reflected over here. Now let's do the same thing which we have done for this Gaurav's ID. So here we are going to post the first tweet we can see that the most recent tweet of Anita is getting reflected. Let me just enlarge the size of the screen so that everything can be more visible to you guys. Fine. So now let's check whether we are able to see the previous tweets of Anita or not using these two navigation buttons. So let's click on this. Okay, so the tweets are getting changed. Fine. Okay, so we are able to check out all the tweets which Anita has published on this platform. Now let's come back, and this is Anita's profile, and using Gaurav's profile also we published 3 tweets, and using Anita's also we have published 3 different tweets. Now let's create another ID on this platform. So Abhinav's profile has also got successfully created. His profile pic is getting reflected over here. Now let's publish a tweet with this ID. Fine. And now let's see whether we'll be able to fetch the previous tweets not using these navigation buttons. So we are able to navigate between all the created tweets. Now let's come back. Okay. Let's check out whether we'll be able to see the tweets when we'll hit this button over here. Okay, so we are able to see the tweets, and besides we are able to navigate between the previous tweets also. We are able to see the previous tweets also using these next and previous buttons. So we are done with creating Abhinav's profile and posting 3 different tweets using his profile on this platform. Now let's create one more profile. So the Sneha's profile has got successfully created. Now let's post something using Sneha's ID. Okay, so we are able to see the previous tweets also using these navigation buttons over here. Now let's come back on Sneha's profile. Fine. So done with creating all the required 4 profiles for this lecture. The first one is Gaurav's profile, the second one is Anita's profile, third one is Abhinav's profile, and the fourth one is Sneha's profile. And we have created all these 4 profiles on 4 different devices, or you can say 4 different browsers. And with each profile we have published 3 different tweets on this platform. So in all there are 12 tweets right now present on this Twitter platform, and there are 4 different profiles of 4 different people that we have registered, or you can say defined, on this platform. Now let's make use of the Sneha's ID and search for Gaurav's profile. So for that we need to enter Gaurav's email address over here, and the profile is visible to us. Now let's see whether we'll be able to see the tweets which Gaurav has posted or not. So for that we need to click on his photograph, and automatically the most recent tweet which he has posted on this platform will be visible to us here. Okay, the way I've coded next and previous buttons that I've used earlier in this lecture, in the same way I've coded these 2 next and previous buttons also. So if you want to check out the previous posts of Gaurav, you can hit this button, and you can use this previous and next button for checking out all the posts or tweets which Gaurav has done on this platform. Now let's send a follow request to Gaurav. Okay, so right now Sneha is following Gaurav. Fine. So Gaurav's followers should be equal to 1. That's what is getting reflected over here, right? Now let's come back on Sneha's profile and check out the number of people he's following. So right now she's following only one person, which is Gaurav. Fine. Now if she wants to check out his posts, his tweets, what she can do, here also I have provided a provision for that. So in order to check the tweets posted by Gaurav on this platform, she can click on this following text. Automatically she will be able to see the most recent tweet of Gaurav. Now if she want to navigate, if she wants to check out the previous tweets posted by Gaurav, she can make use of these two previous next buttons, and automatically she will be able to fetch everything. Okay, now let's come back. Now let's search for Abhinav's profile using Sneha's ID. So this is his email address, and here when we will click on this photograph, automatically his posts are going to get visible over here. And let's hit this follow button. Right now Sneha has started following Abhinav. So at present the total number of people Sneha is following is 2. So when we'll click on this, it will get changed to 2 like this. Fine. Now let's hit this following text over here and see what's gonna happen. So here is Abhinav's profile getting reflected. Now let's hit this following and see what are we going to get. So right now, the tweet of the most recent tweet of Abhinav is getting reflected over here, right? Likewise, we can make use of this navigate button for navigating in between the tweets which Abhinav has posted on this platform. Okay, let's come back, and now I am going to search for Anita's profile. Okay, and for that I need to enter Anita's email address over here. So I'm using Sneha's profile only. Okay, so this is Anita's tweet, the most recent tweet Anita has posted. It's getting reflected over here. Now let's hit this follow button. Now come back and check out the number of people whom she is following. So Sneha is following right now 3 people. For checking out the profiles, we can hit this following button and automatically we are going to get. Now let's hit this following button and see what's going to happen. So right now the posts, the tweets which she has posted, they are getting reflected over here. So Sneha can check out all the tweets of Anita here. Okay, so this is how I have coded this following screen. Likewise, if we'll talk about the followers screen, let's do one thing. So at present, Sneha is following Gaurav, she is following Anita, and she is following Abhinav. Now let's make use of Anita's ID. Okay, and let's search for Gaurav's profile here. Okay, so his profile is getting visible over here. Now let's hit this follow button, and right now she is also following Gaurav. Anita is following Gaurav, so he has 2 followers in total. Fine. Similarly, let's make use of Abhinav's profile, and let's search for Gaurav's profile here. Okay, hit this follow button. Right now the total number of followers Gaurav has got on his platform is 3, and here also if you'll click on this, it will change to 3. Now let's come on Gaurav's profile and check out the number of followers. So right now 3 different people are following him. Let's hit this followers option. So the most recent person who has started following Gaurav is Abhinav. Fine. If you want to check out the previous next followers, you can make use of this previous next button for checking out the names and profiles of all the followers. Now here I have defined a code with which I can fetch all the tweets which she has posted. For example, if I want to check out Sneha's tweet, so I can click on this followers button and automatically all the tweets which Sneha has posted will be visible to me. See? Fine. Let's come on the profile of the second person who is following Gaurav. So it is Anita. If we want to check out her tweets, we can just click on this. Automatically now Anita's tweets are going to get reflected. Okay, you can see here right now Anita's name is getting reflected. So these are the posts which Anita has posted on this platform. Likewise, if you want to check the posts of Abhinav, if Gaurav wants to check out the post of Abhinav, which is one of his followers, so he can again click on this next or previous button so that he can check out all his posts. See? So, this is how we have coded this followers and following screen. So I hope everything is clear to you how this, tweet platform is working. Now let's dive into the Code.org platform and check out how this application have been coded. So this is the Code.org platform, and here I would like to show you directly the code that I have made use of, for tweeting purpose. Let's start from the part where I have started the coding of the tweeting part. So I think where is that platform? Okay, so this is where I started coding the tweeting platform from. Now we need to come on this screen first, screen 5. Okay, and I need to, so this is screen 5 and this is how it will look on the browser. When you will run the app, this is the screen which you are going to come across. This is screen 5. Want to tweet, so this is the button which I have named like this, want to tweet. So when the user will hit this button over here, automatically is going to come across this screen. This is screen 11. This is screen 11 which you are seeing right now. Let me come on this screen 11. So I think in this way you guys will be able to understand this coding part in a better way. Now what is happening here? The profile, the user's image is getting reflected over here. The name and the email address is also getting reflected over here. Now where are they coming from? They are actually coming from, let me show you the part from which they are coming from. So when the user is actually signing into the platform, where is that screen? I'm searching for, yeah, this is the one. So yesterday we discussed about this next 6 button. Okay, when the user is going to come on the screen 5, so everything, the image, his name, his email address is going to get visible. So from this part only I have fetched the information for these 3 things: the tweet image, tweet name and tweet mail. Okay, this is the code that I've defined. I've just copied this code and pasted it over here. This is for the tweet part, okay, and this is how it is going to get reflected. Okay, this is the running platform. Fine, this is how it is going to appear when you will run the app. Now after writing the tweet over here, when the user will hit this tweet button, so the ID of this tweet button is send. I need to come down and search for that send button. Where is that send button? I'm looking for that send button. Okay, this is the one. So when the user will hit this send button, what is going to happen? A table is going to get created on the data browser. So, and how the table is going to get created? You know, the name of the email ID is going to get picked up from this tweet email. This is tweet email. So with this ID plus tweet at the end, so table with this name is going to get created. Let me just show you the table and what all information is there inside this table. So these are some tables which have got created, and you know, we have got all the tweets which this person has published on this platform. See, all the information is there. This is a tweet. Fine. And this is the information which is getting stored in this table connected to the data browser. Its name, the email ID of the user, the photograph, and the tweet, the message. Fine. And after that, once the user is done with tweeting the message, he is going to get redirected on that we are going to publish here on this platform using Abhinav's ID. Okay, so this is a screen on which the user is going to come across. So the name of this screen is after tweet. Let's come on this after tweet now, and this is how it looks like, and this is how you are going to see it while the app is running. Okay, so when the user will click on this after tweet screen, what is going to happen? So for that we need to check out the code. So when the user will click on this after tweet screen, he is going to get redirected on screen 12. Let's come on screen 12. Fine, and this is how it looks like. So here he will be able to see his photograph, his ID, and the most recent tweet he has posted. So how these informations are getting fetched? So I have made use of this read records block, okay, for fetching the information from this table which we have got created earlier, right? And the tweet will be visible to the user like this. So in the main tweet and the tweet, the ID of this one is main tweet, which is there on screen 12. And when the user will hit this back profile, this is a back profile button, he is going to get redirected on screen 8. So here also he is going to see the most recent tweet of his own. Okay, this is the ID of this component tweet. Okay, and the records are getting fetched here only when the user is hitting that after tweet button. So let's come on that screen. So this is a screen the user is going to come across, and here he's going to see his profile and the most recent tweet he has posted. Fine. Now let's come down. Okay, so follower profile. The idea of this button is follower profile. If you want to check out the number of people who those who are following him, so he can tap on this button and check that out. And if you want to see the number of people he is following, so he can just click on this button, automatically he'll be able to see the result. Fine, that's how we have coded this platform. Now let's do one thing. Let's minimize this screen. This is a code that we have used, and you know what I have done, the code that I have used for these two buttons, following and followers, the same code I have copied, and I've made use of the same code for these two things also. Okay, so let me just show you the whole code again. This is the code that I've used for this button, follower profile, for checking out the number of followers, and this is the code I've used for following button profile. Fine. Now let's come on the code for these two buttons. So how I have coded these next and previous button, the way I have used the way I've coded the next and previous button is in this, you know, on this followers tab over here, followers screen, you know, these next and previous button, these next and previous button, I've copied and pasted the code of these two buttons, and I have made use of the codes of these two buttons for coding. Where is that screen? I think it is screen 10 or what? Yeah, screen 10. No, not screen 10. It is, I think it is screen 8. Yes. So I have made use of the same code for coding these two buttons also, the next tweet and the previous tweet. See, I've made use of a variable z, and its value is getting decreased every time the user will hit this next previous button. The value of z is going to get decreased by 1, and the records are going to get pulled up from this table. This is a condition I've defined over here, and the name of this component is tweet, and in this we will be able to see the most recent tweet of the person. Fine. Likewise, I have defined the same code for the next tweet button also. This is the whole code. You can just check it out or note it down somewhere. Now let's come on this button, which is the name of which is back main. When the user will click on this button back main, he is going to get redirected on this screen 5, back on this screen 5. So this is screen 5 which you are seeing over here. Okay, now here if this user want to search for anyone's profile, he can type the email address of that person here and hit this search button. So automatically he's going to come across the profile of that person. Fine. Now here we have got where is that screen I'm searching for? I think it is a screen 10. Yeah. So this, what you're seeing here right now, it is a screen 10. So the name of this photograph option, or you can say image button, that I have defined over here is pic follow. So when the user will hit this pic follow, I want to see the post of this user. I want to see the post of this person over here. So this is the code that I have defined for doing the same. The records are going to get pulled up from this table and they are going to get reflected here on this screen. Initially, nothing is visible to the user. You can see, as you can see, nothing is visible to the user. But when he will click on this photograph, all the most recent posts will be visible to the user. Okay, now let's come on the way I have coded the previous and next button I've shown you earlier. In the same way I've coded the previous and next button that I've defined on this screen also. This is the code of the same. Okay, this is the code for previous button. And one more thing that you have to keep in mind while defining the code is you have to change the name of the variable every time you're copying and pasting the code. And here also you need to change the name of the variable and make sure that the table from which you're fetching the data, the name of that table is correctly defined. So These are some of the same things that you have to keep in mind while copying and pasting and using that particular code again in your coding platform, on your coding platform. Okay, so we are done with this thing. Now let's come on that followers screen. So we need to hit this next back button, and here is the followers screen. So here what I have done on this followers screen at present, these three components, this image, this text, this what we call it, text area, this next in previous buttons, they are not visible to the user, as you can see. But when the user will hit this followers button over here, what is the idea of this? It is show followers. Okay, let me just show it to you, the code of this. When the user will hit the show follower, this is what is going to happen. All these three buttons which are hidden, they are going to get visible like this. Okay, they are going to get visible, and besides that, the user will be able to see the tweets which this person has posted. And this is the code that I have used for the same. I am picking up the name of the table from the email ID which is getting reflected over here. So these are some of the tricks that you can use for making your platform more interactive. Now similarly, the way I've coded the next and previous buttons, I've coded in the same way these two buttons also. This is the code for next follower button. Okay, now the data is getting fetched from this table. Likewise, I have defined the code for this previous follower button also. Okay, now what I have done, I have copied this whole thing from this b equals to 1 to this part show follower, and I've pasted it over here, and I've used this code for this following screen also. Okay, and the variable that I've used for this one is c is equals to 1. This is a code that I've defined. So here I've changed the name of the table to email followings from email followers. I've changed the name of the alphabet also, and the name of this component is tweet following. So when the user will come on this following screen, he will not be able to see anything. When the user will come on this following screen, he will not be able to see anything. Nothing will be visible to him. But as soon as he will tap on this show follower button, okay, this is the button, he will be able to see this thing, these two buttons, as well as this tweet, the most recent tweet posted by this person over here, getting reflected over here in this text box. So this is the code that I have made use of for doing the same. This is for the previous following button. Okay, and this is for the next following button. So everything is very easy. You just have to use your mind. You have to try to you guys have to try to use every code in a different way, and try to use some different trick with every code that you use on this in this workspace. Then only you will be able to create a kind of a very interactive app on this platform. It's a very good platform on which you can work and learn JavaScript. So this is it. This is a whole code that I've defined for this for tweeting purpose. And that's it for today's class. Thank you very much for being with me and listening to me. Have a great day. Bye bye.